Hello, everyone. My name is Gregory Butts, and today I want to introduce to you our new Meetsystems track management software. Meetsystems is a track and field management program designed to help timers, meet directors, and event organizers run their meets more efficiently. We created Meetsystems track management to make the process of running a track meet, cross-country meet, multi-event meet easier from start to finish. In this video, I'm going to walk you through the program and show you some of the main features that can help make your meet more organized, accurate, and professional. Okay, let's get started. This is our main screen. One of the first things you want to do is create a new database or create a new meet. Here's our create a new meet window. For your meet, you would go through and fill out all of this information. You can have a track or cross country, whichever one you select. You can use age group, youth, USA track and field, AAU track and field, or any youth age group. You would just check that. You can actually enable live results or not. I'm going to just click autofill, and I'm just going to go ahead and submit it. And what we're going to do is create ourselves a new meet called test meet. And as you see, it opens the test meet database. So right now, if we go to the top here, it is a completely empty database. There are no athletes in the athlete table. There's no teams. It's completely empty. There's no events. When we click events, there's no events at all. So So now what we need to do, normally in most meet management software, you have to come over to events. First of all, you have to come over to divisions and set up your divisions. Okay. Right now we have empty divisions. We tried to make it easier. We put some division templates. So if I click open division templates, we now have several templates. Age group one template, these are the age groups. If those are the age groups you're using, two, and and so forth. These are the templates. Okay. If you choose not to use a template, you would just come down here and create your own uh, divisions. Now, our import. We come here to import. We have what we can do is we're going to select the file. I wanted to show you this because here's a track meet, and we can import two different types of files. The standard high-tech semicolon delimited import file, or we can use our JSON import file. There's only one online registration that generates the JSON import file, and that is our site, Meet Register. And you have actually two downloads. This one, which is the standard high-tech semicolon limited file that all online registrations use, or you can download the JSON file that only Meet Register online registration uses. So keep in mind, we have a completely empty database, no athletes, no entries, no events. So what we're going to do is if you import a JSON file from Meet Register's online registration, that's all you have to do. If you import the JSON file, it sets everything up for you. So here I'm going to import the JSON file. If you were to import the semicolon delimited file, you would have to Only thing you'd have to set up are your divisions. So here I'm going to import the JSON file. Data imported successfully. So now when we come here to athletes, now you see we have an athletes. Up at the top, we have 911 athletes from this particular meet. You can see the teams, their membership numbers, gender, um, from this window. Or we can add an athlete. If we need to add an athlete, we can just come here, put their, click date of birth. It'll show, the calendar where you can select and put the date of birth. You can select the teams. These are all the teams in the meet here. These are all the teams that are in this particular, meet. So, and we can also, of course, in the athletes menu, assign bibs. So we're going to assign a bib. We can select which team we want to assign bibs to. We can, only assign bibs numbers to athlete with entries. So we're just going to start at bib number 1. And we're going to hit, we can start an ending bib if we wanted to, but we're just going to hit OK. And we're going to assign bibs. And as you can see, now 911 athletes have now bib numbers. Okay, so the next thing that you want to see to look at is if you notice when we imported it, the events window was empty. Now we have all of our events. 7 and 8 year 100-meter dash, 7 and 8 year 400-meter dash. These are all of the events and divisions that were in that particular meet. Everything is imported for you. For every age group, we have open. In this particular meet, they had open and masters meet. Okay. The number of lanes. Um, Here you can add events. Let's start here. You can add events. So you come here, and here's our event window. In this particular mate, four and under male, okay, we can come here and just add events, whatever it might be. We can add events all at once. Then we would simply sit there and save. And we can go ahead and change the gender and add those events for that gender. Then you can come here and change the divisions and add the events for that. Each division, here's all the divisions that are in that meet. All of this information was imported by our JSON file method. So when doing a meet, you can also come here, depending on the number of lanes. We have global lanes and flights, okay? So lanes for events under 400 meters, let's say this particular meet has 9. And let's say lanes for events greater than 400 meters. We can put the number of events there. We can put for the field events, the number of athletes per flight, by simply changing this. So we're going to go 9, 16, and 12. Okay. And the global lanes have been set up. So if you notice, 100 meters, 9 lanes, long jump, 12. If you come down here to 800, notice we have 16, long jump shot with 12. Okay. Real quickly, we'll come back to events. Another little features that's kind of pretty cool is right now we're in dark mode. As you everything in dark mode here, if you prefer, we can go into light mode. And then if you come to events and go to event setup, we are now in light mode and everything we're doing light mode. That's just a preference. It would be a personal preference for the timer. I kind of like dark mode, so I'm gonna go back to dark mode. Okay. Now we'll come back to the events windows and we will go to event setup again. And so the next thing you have to do is come over here and create slash modify sections. Okay. I said section, not sessions. And so we want to add a section. Okay. These little pop-ups here, we're going to call this section 1, section title, whatever you want to put. The number of days and the date. Of course, the date will always give you a little calendar. Let's just say for this case, July 25th. And we want to start time. We'll go 8 a.m. and then we'll hit OK. And so now up here, we've created a section. We want to create a second section. We'll just come here and click add section again and create section 2 if that's what we choose. Okay. So now what we want to do is, in order to proceed, you must add the events to that section. However the timer or however the meet is set up. So what we're going to do is, I'm just going to, for demonstration purposes, select all. And it highlighted all the sections. Then I'm going to move to the section schedule. Again, we're calling it section instead of sessions. So now we just moved all of these events to the section schedule. And this basically is the order of events. Okay. Now we can come here and select section order. Okay. This is the order. All right. Let's say we want to go. Let's go with the first race. Let's just say the first race is going to be 3,000-meter run. Okay, we'll just move that to the top. So now that's the first race in your section schedule. And let's say we'll just go 400 meters. Let's put all of the field events at the bottom. We'll just move them to the bottom. Just move to the bottom. And javelin throw, move to the bottom. Shot put, move to the bottom. Any more field events here? High jump. We're going to move it to the bottom. So we have all of the field events at the bottom. Okay. And this is the order of events, our section schedule. And we will keep it like this. I'm going to just move the 100-meter hurdles there. Just click and drag and move it up. I put the 80-meter hurdles. That's the 110 hurdles. 200. Let me see. Do we have any more hurdles? 400-meter hurdles. Okay, we leave those right there. We could sort it A to Z. We could reverse the order, move things to the top, move things to the bottom. The starting gender. We want to start female first, and from that point, it will alternate female, male, or you can click male, and it'll alternate male, female, male, female. But we'll go female, male. Then the age order, youngest to oldest or oldest to youngest. We'll keep youngest to oldest. And if you notice over here, we still have the 100 meters. And so now once we hit apply, section order applied, and we close it. And as you can see, we have the 3,000 meters, youngest to oldest, 11 to 12 female, 11 to 12 male, 13, 14 female, 13, 14 male, 15, 16 female, and so forth. Okay. Now we've created our sections and our section order of events. Okay. So now we'll close that. And so, of course, the next step is we want to go to seating. And we'll come to our seating menu. Here's our seating menu. Okay. We can show all sections, or we can show, in this case, section one, highlight section one. Um, Everything's in section one. So over here, you'll see the number of entries, the number of heats, the number of lanes. 2 entries. Of course, the 3,000 meter doesn't have a lot of entries. But if we scroll down, we'll start seeing more and more entries for like the 400-meter dash in this particular meet. Okay. So I'm just going to click up here. Since there'll be multiple heats, we're going to click Serpentine Center Out. Um, Center Out means the fastest runner based on seed time will be in the center lanes of each heat. Field events, best to worst, uh, top seeds in the last flight. We can either go fastest heat first or the fastest heat last. Okay. Several options that you go through. I suggest playing with it to see what you like. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to seed all visible. I can seed one race at a time. Okay, that race is seeded and it'll tell you done, and you can unseed it if you choose. But I'm just going to come here and click seed all visible. And there was 2,302 entries, 350 flights, and we'll hit OK. And now everything is seeded. All events are now seeded for the meet. As you can see. All right, so now everything is seeded. And now what we want to do is go to our results menu. High Tech and other online calls it the run menu. We're calling it what it is, the results menu. So we'll click results. And we'll come over here. And so this is now what we have here. Okay. We will click section one, and it's showing, the round number, the round name, and the status, and it just simply says seeded. Okay. Here we need to select our data folder. So I'm going to come here, and I'm going to come here. I've already created the data folders in 2026 Meetsystems. I'm going to come here, and I'm just going to click Saturday. That's our data folder. Now, just to show you what happened, if you notice in our data folder, if we go to this actual folder in Windows, it created our links.evt file, our PPL file, and our schedule automatically the moment we selected the data folder. Okay. Here in our system, there's no more updating the start list. Everything is done automatically. So let's just go, for example, okay, we're on the girls 3,000 meter 11-12. It's showing the number of heats. As we highlighted, it just shows those that are entered. Let's come down to here. Let's try one of these other events. Let's go down to, okay, the event number 5. Oh, that's the Masters. Okay, 4 and under. Okay, we get more here as we go down, and we'll start seeing more heats. Heat 1, Heat 2. These are the seed marks over here. Okay, so that's event number 48. Okay, now you set up your timing software, and of course select the proper data folder, and close that. Sorry about that. Um, Now what we want to do is I'm going to demonstrate what happens. I have a timing software simulator running in the background. So I'm going to come here to event 48, which which is the 100-meter dash 5 and 6 year olds. Let's see here, event 48. Okay, so there in here, there's two heats. So now, the race has started, and I capture and I save my video and I save my LAF files to um, this folder. I'm going to simulate that now. And now I just saved the file. Up, I accidentally saved it to heat 2. That's why we didn't see anything happen. So now I'm going to come to heat 1. Okay, so I'm going to, right now, I am going to save now. And notice the times automatically pop into the database. There's no longer having to hit the get times button. They automatically pop into the database. Let's go to the next event. 5 and 6 year old male. That's event number 63. I'm going to find it in my timing system. I'm going to go heat 1. And I'm going to save times now. And boom. A couple of seconds after you save the times, times automatically pop up into the database. So I'm giving this demo, and for timers, I am looking for beta testers. I need timers to beta test it for me and give me feedback on how it works for you, anything that you feel should be added. We value input from the professionals. So we're looking for timers to beta test it before we release it and make it go public. I'm posting this on Facebook. Please inbox me if you're interested in beta testing, and I will show you where you can download the software. It's not completely finished. I mean, we have a lot of other little features that I didn't go over it. For example, we can actually import a high-tech backup. I can come here and I have several high-tech backups here. I can sit there and I can click on these and import a high-tech backup and have everything that was in high-tech here. We are in the process of being able to export a high-tech backup. I know some of the youth organizations only use high-tech because that's what they've been using for years. With Meetsystems, you can use a high-tech backup and you can export a high-tech backup so that Organizations like AAU and USA Track and Field can keep their records straight. So that's another feature. Thank you very much for listening. Please feel free to inbox me on Facebook. And again, I'm looking for timers to beta test the system for me, um, because we want to create the best system on the market. And also, um, I would love your suggestions on a price point. What should this cost? High Tech has several different models. You can pay a yearly subscription. Um, so, you know, we're looking at doing what's best and easiest for all the timers. Um, Again, feel free to inbox me. I will give you a link where you can download our demo version and play with it. And as my business partner always says, try to break it. We want to get any bugs in it that's out of there. I've tested it to death, but we know the real test is from the actual professional timers, experienced timers testing it. Uh, this is Greg Butts. Thank you very much.